I've been living outside of the United States for about 7 years now in South America, and I recently had to renew my U.S. passport. I just got it back in the mail a couple days ago. I've got to tell you, I've never been the biggest patriot or nationalist, but nonetheless, the images and quotes throughout this document: bear catching salmon in a river, the bald eagle, deserts, plains, mountains, quotes from American and American Indian leaders throughout our history. It really brings to the forefront of my heart and mind something that I occasionally lose sight of, something that I think we all know, but we all occasionally lose sight of, and um, it's an underlying factor. This thing that we lose sight of that is what truly makes the United States actually be the land of the free and the home of the brave. And it's really important to talk about this now. We can see this underlying factor in the spirit and the way of the American Indian. We can see it in the way of the maverick rebel of the original 13 colonies and their champions. We can see it in the roaming buffalo, in the eagle, in the mountains, the wind-whipped plains and the rivers, the thick, lush forests, and the oceans on either side of what the American Indians call Turtle Island. We can see that this land itself is what called the European settlers, following, earlier adventurers, Vikings, Africans, Polynesians, many people who came to this place even before the Europeans, um, and the Europeans themselves coming to settle. They might think at times that it's themselves, that they made this decision and that they are carrying it out, but it's not just that. Anybody who's taken a look at the United States, at its geography, at its nature, at the buffalo and the other beings who live there, the bear, the bald eagle. I mean, are you kidding me? Anybody who's seen the forests can see this spirit that I'm talking about, and this spirit is the land itself. The land itself called to these people and put the message of rebellion, the message of freedom, in the hearts of the founding fathers and mothers. It's what pushed them through every challenge and led them to defeat the great British Empire. It brought them to create the shining example of democracy, of the people, by the people, and for the people, which Abraham Lincoln, on the first page of this document, uh, I don't know if you can see it, but if not, that's okay because I'm going to tell you. He's quoted saying, most of us know this quote, that this government of the people, by the people, and for the people would not perish from the earth. It's a really powerful statement. Now, we have ugliness in our past as a nation. I know that we have it in our past as individuals because I myself have it in me. We have ugliness at present, perhaps more prevalent than ever before in human history. For this and many other reasons, it's only when we take a moment, take a step back from the human game, the human race, the rat race, as it's called, or like myself living abroad for so long, it really brings into perspective um, everything. And we can see that it's the same spirit. It's the same spirit that pervades all of this land, all of the beings who move um, in these lands that we call America, all those beings who fly through her skies, who walk upon her ground, who swim in her waters, who crawl through her soil. It's this spirit, this holy, God sent spirit that animates this land where we can come together and overcome any challenge. It really lifts us up and inspires us and sometimes makes us a bit emotional when we really feel the impact of this spirit. It's this same spirit that uh, allows us to really be there for our neighbors, to be there for one another, uh, provides a place where we can engage in healthy competition in the market, in the sports field, and elsewhere, yet never lose our intrinsic, strong moral background, moral fiber, backbone, rather, that connects us all, not only with one another, but also with the divine nature of life itself and everything and every being in life. And this is something that I know for myself, I took for granted. I take for granted. I'm trying to do something about that. And honestly, not to judge or criticize other people, but I see it in other people. We take it for granted. We don't really understand the the privileges that we have in terms of having the infrastructure, the system, um, the basic honesty and desire to complete one's word that we have at every level of the United States culture. Every level. Now, yes, it's true. We face challenges today, challenges that unlike any we've faced before. We have been caught unaware, even us great thinkers, mavericks, warriors. And though the hour is already upon us now, we must stand up and stand together even in the face of annihilation. The only way that evil wins is if we give into it. It doesn't win by destroying us, destroying our bodies, or by humiliating us or isolating us, some of its usual tactics. It will never win unless we stand down. And yes, we fall, we make mistakes. I myself have been fooled by evil for many years at a time. We must stand up again and again and again and again and face that evil within ourselves. And again, I speak from personal experience. We must not give in to the belief that we are evil, though we have fallen, though we get tempted. On the contrary, however far down we fall, evil only wins temporarily while we let it drag us down deeper and deeper and deeper. But whenever we stand up and face it, we are winning, and we can and will vanquish it. We will forever live in harmony, as is our natural birthright, as this land, this spirit, the Creator want for us to do. But we have to go through these challenges. We have to go through this fire to become tempered, to become the strongest, highest quality steel, or whatever analogy we want to use. We have to go through that real heat, that real fire, that real challenge. And then we'll have the humor, the harmony, the whole thing. We should recognize that the enemy we face wants us to hate ourselves, to give up on ourselves, because then, with that accomplished, we stand no chance of coming together. But we already are together. It's lies that the enemy tries to feed us, and much of the time, we consume it. And all of this goes for all of humanity, not just any one nation or any one kind of person. You know, we are bad. There is no God. God is bad. Freedom is fascist and fascism is progress. It's cool. It's woke. Love isn't real. You know, all that stuff is archaic. Marriage is archaic. Be weak in your body. Be weak in your mind. You have no spirit. Death is final. It, the enemy is obsessed with death. They're cynical people. They have no faith and no hope. And it's lies. All of it is lies. Who would believe such a blatant piecemeal ploy? Why would somebody want to believe such nonsense? Nobody. And yet we look around and we see so many people worldwide um, just being swept along with the current of it. And it's being propagated from places like the UN, that Yuval Harari guy and Klaus Schwab and Joe Biden and um, various world leaders and corporate leaders and all of it. And then we are like the minions, most of us who run around just wearing our masks and taking these shots and doing all the things that they tell us to do without questioning it, getting offended at those who do question it. So that's where we're at. But I'm personally in a position where I'm not a Christian, nor am I an atheist. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a libertarian. I'm not any of that. I don't resonate or identify, as people like to say these days, with any of that. And I'm not afraid that I'm going to offend somebody, or by saying that, I'm not going to walk over eggshells to say what's true. It's my truth, at the very least, and it's okay to speak it. If you don't like it, don't listen. Um, but then again, I suppose that maybe I am a Christian if I love God and love my neighbors and am awakened and would sacrifice anything for my neighbors, even my own life, if it would really help. Because none of it is my own. This body is not my own. My life is not my own. These are, borrowed from Creator, borrowed from Grandma Earth to complete a certain task, to arrive at a certain destination or point. And then it goes back to where it came from and takes on a new form. I'm not attached to that in any way. But yes, the world is upside down. All of our institutions today are inverted, do the opposite of what they say they do, from government to law, medicine, religion, all of it. It doesn't say that is not to say that every individual who's part of these institutions, who works in these institutions, is corrupt and lost. That is not at all the case. But nonetheless, individual freedoms are indeed under strategic attack. No doubt. But they will not be vanquished as long as you or I remain here with even an ounce of hope in our souls. You know, I don't really know how to end this. I don't think that there is an ending. I think it's an ongoing discourse. But what I really want to focus on, my point for this particular video, is to really to be mindful that yes, there are challenges that need to be spoken of that we don't seem to want to look at. We just want to go about our lives and just act like everything's okay and go to work and come back and watch some Netflix or something, and don't question the propaganda that we're being just bombarded with constantly in everything. No, don't question about it. It's lame. We don't want to talk about it. But the problem is that we don't really understand what's happening. I mean, that's a big, you know, problem. That's a big red flag for me. If we're going to face a challenge, we might want to know what the challenge is that we're facing if we're going to actually have um, a chance to stand up for it. And that's really all it takes, is just that little bit of hope. You got to know what's happening. You got to see it, all of it, however scary or upsetting or uncomfortable. And then you got to say, okay, well, let's face this thing, come whatever may. Whatever may. Not worried about death, not trying to die, but death is not the end of anything. It's just a stage in in everything, a stage in existence. It doesn't require you to become some sort of evolved uh, spiritual being, or it's not a thing like you haven't paid your dues. That's just the way things are. It's just simple. It's just natural. And this is a natural spirit, a natural beauty, a natural love that is speaking to us, that holds us, that provides life for us in all of the aspects of life, from our food to our water to our air to our community. This is coming from the United States, from the land itself. And every land has its particular personality, its particular soul. But the United States land is holy, is so divine, so special. And I really just want to give thanks for being an American. I want to give thanks for the opportunities I have mentally, physically, professionally, and otherwise. I don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to, because taking it for granted also means that I'm not, it works like this. It's interesting, where if I take it for granted, that also means at the same time that I'm not taking uh, maximum advantage of the opportunities that I have as someone born in the United States. So I love you, whoever you are. We all need love. We all deserve love, all of us, no matter how lost we might get at certain times. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to, completely. We need to believe in one another. We need to believe in whatever happens, believe in life. This stage of human development, all these challenges that we face, um, against all this beauty, this stage, all of this is guided by broader forces than ourselves, too. This earth, this land itself, the Creator are not there. They're here. They're right here. They're between us. They're within us. They're around us. They are us. Not supposed to say that, but guess what? It's just the way it is. They are us. We are that. We are the Creator. We are the spirits. All of us. You don't have to earn it. You are. It's what you are. You can realize it maybe, but you don't have to earn it. But you might live your life in a different way if you are cognizant of that regularly. So I just want to remember that. I want to give thanks for the spirit of this land, express this tremendous gratitude that really lifts me up and makes me emotional all at the same time, and it never fails to inspire, encourage, really just push and pave the way for great projects, for great opportunities to forge, so to speak, or to cultivate that harmonious community that is coming. So thank you for listening. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to hear from you, to speak with you, and remember that the spirit of the earth and the Creator are right here. We can reach out for them. They will respond. Give thanks. Until next time.